Some days, a Chargers fan's heart just wakes up pounding, and today is one of those days. There's big news from behind the scenes, a move that could change the course of the season, a comeback that's going to hit the fan base right in the soul, and one strategic detail almost nobody's talking about, but it could be the difference maker down the stretch. There's a twist, there's emotion, and there's that extra spice only we understand. Are we about to witness the birth of something historic? You're not going to believe what we've got today. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's get right into it. When a season begins, you expect your most reliable warriors to be there, ready for battle. But sometimes, fate throws a brutal punch, and losing Rashawn Slater, our rock on the offensive line, to a ruptured patellar tendon felt like a gut shot. Fans reacted instantly with that mix of panic and disbelief. Now what? Who's going to hold the line and keep Justin Herbert safe? The pressure wasn't just in the pocket, it was in the front office too. Jim Harbaugh, with that calculating stare we've already come to know, wasted no time. While the fan base was still processing the news, the Chargers facilities turned into a scouting war room. Over the weekend, the team evaluated, tested, and worked out offensive tackles. The mission? Find not just a replacement, but someone who could bring security, experience, and sheer physical presence to the most critical protection spot. That's when the name David Sharp emerged, as the bridge between need and opportunity. A 6'6", 343-pound wall of a man, originally drafted by the Raiders in 2017, with stints in Houston, Baltimore, and Carolina. We're not talking about a rookie trying to prove himself. This is a battle-tested veteran who's seen it all and faced some of the league's nastiest defenses. Last season with the Panthers, he suited up for 8 games, always proving that while he might not be a headline star, he's a pro you can count on. The detail almost everyone missed, and it changes everything, is Sharp's connection with our GM Joe H. Ortiz. The two worked together in Baltimore in 2021 and 2022, which could speed up Sharp's transition into our system. This isn't just signing a player, it's bringing in someone who understands how Ortiz thinks and what he demands. That's pure gold for cohesion and execution. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Sharp doesn't have the swing tackle job locked up. He's going to have to fight for it against former UFL tackle Ryan Nielsen and 2025 UDFA Corey Stewart. That competition could be exactly what pushes the entire O-line's level higher. The fan base is split. Some are celebrating the Sharp signing, reminding everyone that experience is never a bad thing when it comes to protecting the franchise QB. Others still feel the sting of losing Slater and want more reassurance. But ultimately, what Harbaugh's doing here is sending a crystal clear message. This team won't sit back and hope problems fix themselves. We're going to act fast, adapt faster, and keep the season's goals alive and beating. And that's not even the most surprising part of the day. There are wins that don't count in the standings, but matter in the heart and in the team's mindset. The preseason opener, dismantling the Detroit Lions in the Hall of Fame game, was exactly that. A statement to the league that the Chargers are sharp, focused, and ready to take on anyone. And ironically, that game may have been more important for what it means off the field than on it. Because while we were celebrating Trey Lance's passes and Taylor Heinicke's steady command, something was brewing behind the scenes, a rare opportunity to turn a surplus of talent into strategic trade capital. Yes, we're talking about the backup quarterback market. Preseason is that open showcase where bubble players prove whether they belong or not. And looking around the league, one team in particular stood out for its glaring weakness at the position, the Tennessee Titans. After taking a 29-7 beating from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their QB situation looked desperate. Rookie first overall pick Cam Ward didn't implode, but he didn't inspire confidence either. The real disaster came from the veterans, Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle. The cold and brutal stats. 10 completions on 25 attempts, just 86 yards, and 3 interceptions combined. It was so bad that even the ghost of Easton Stick's preseason struggles looked competent by comparison. And here's where the Chargers could move in like sharks sensing blood. Heinicke, our luxury backup, has recent starting experience, playoff poise, and respect in the locker room. For Tennessee, he'd be an immediate upgrade. The kind of QB who could keep them competitive if Ward needs time to adjust. The sweetest part, that the Titans have extra draft capital, and among those picks is one that should sound familiar. The 2026 selection we sent them last year in the Elijah Molden trade. Imagine getting that pick back in exchange for Heinicke. That's basically a roster cashback. Molden would have been, in practical terms, a free addition. So why even consider moving a top backup? Simple. Trey Lance is showing growth, confidence, and accuracy. Keeping 2 high-end reserves is a luxury few NFL teams can afford. And if we can flip that luxury into reinforcements at other positions, or future draft ammo, Harbaugh and Ortiz have to at least pick up the phone. Fans are, as always, divided. Some argue for holding on to Heinicke as insurance. Others want to sell high while the market's hot. But one thing's clear. This preseason just confirmed that the Chargers have options, and smart teams turn options into competitive advantages. And while we're still chewing on that tempting possibility, what's coming next is going to hit Chargers fans right in their sense of hope. Some seasons aren't just about winning, they're about changing the team's identity. After going 11-6 and making the playoffs in 2024, the Chargers came into 2025 with an even tougher mission. Prove it wasn't a one-off, that we can get there again and go further. And if there's anyone who knows how to transform a roster into a winning machine, it's Jim Harbaugh. But Harbaugh knows defense alone won't bring a championship. The offense needed more firepower. That's why in the draft, GM Joe Hortiz looked at the board, took a breath, and called the name Omarion Hampton, a bruising, vision-driven running back out of UNC. This isn't just another rookie. He's arriving as a central piece in an offensive system designed to recapture the physical, smash-mouth identity Greg ROA used to shatter rushing records with the Ravens in 2019. And as if that wasn't exciting enough, they brought in Najee Harris. 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, a proven workhorse who knows how to carry an offense on his back. The plan was obvious: control the clock, pound defenses into submission, and open up windows for Herbert to strike once they're gasping for air. But camp delivered a surprise that's shaking up the WR depth chart. Rookie Keandre Lambert-Smith. At 6'1", 190 pounds, with 4.37 speed, he doesn't just run, he glides on the perimeter, creating mismatches against anyone. In the Hall of Fame game win over Detroit, he flashed his potential. 2 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown that had fans out of their seats. The impact goes beyond the stat sheet. When a rookie starts pushing established names like Harris, Quentin Johnston, and even the legendary Keenan Allen for snaps, you're not just talking about fresh talent, you're talking about healthy competition that raises the bar for everyone. Herbert, who loves spreading the ball around, now has another weapon, and one more reason to trust that if his first read's covered, there's still a play to be made. For fans, seeing this kind of emergence is pure fuel for optimism. Because this isn't about 1 or 2 stars, it's about an offensive arsenal versatile enough to hammer you on the ground and burn you through the air. And if you think that veteran-rookie mix is enough to dream big, wait until you see the next chapter. A comeback nobody thought possible this soon. Some stories feel scripted to mess with your heart. And this is one of them. Keenan Allen, the man who for years was the face and the most trusted hands of the Chargers offense, is back. Yes, the same Allen who left for Chicago last offseason in a 3rd-round pick trade, part of a desperate cap space shuffle, returns now on a 1-year, $8.25 million deal. This wasn't a random decision. Throughout free agency, Allen and Justin Herbert stayed in touch. Texts, calls, that unspoken bond only teammates who've been through wars together can share. When a QB pushes this hard, it's because he knows that receiver isn't just a target, he's a battle partner. And the most impressive part? Allen returns still producing at a high level. Last year with the Bears, he caught 70 passes for 744 yards and 7 TDs. 2 years before, he topped 1,200 yards. Age may have added experience, but it hasn't taken away his ability to decide games. Now the scene in LA is electric. Allen comes back to a refreshed offense featuring young guns like Ladd McConkey, Omarion Hampton, Trey Harris, Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Oronde Gadsden II. He won't be the undisputed WR1 anymore, and that might actually be the secret to extending his impact. Less pressure, more freedom to work routes, more decisive plays when it matters. The symbolic weight of this return is massive. For the vets in the locker room, it's a statement that the organization values its history. For the rookies, it's a masterclass opportunity. And for the fans, it's a reunion with an icon who knows every inch of SoFi Stadium and every roar from the stands. Strategically, Allen's presence balances the field. Defenses will have to respect his precision and savvy, creating space for McConkey and others to attack. Herbert, who's connected with Allen for over 4,000 yards and 25 TDs in 52 games, gets his security blanket back for those tight must-convert moments. The reaction online was explosive. Fans talking about the circle completing, others reliving iconic games, some already picturing Herbert hitting Allen for a fourth-quarter playoff dagger. This is more than a roster move, it's emotional fuel for the whole season. 4 moves, 4 stories that together paint a picture of a Chargers team stronger, deeper, and more connected than ever. We lost pieces, but we responded fast. We saw talent rise when we least expected. We created strategic possibilities that could pay off now and later. And above all, we recovered a piece of our soul with Keenan Allen's return. This season won't be about waiting for things to happen. It's about making them happen. And you? Do you think these steps are enough to bring the Lombardi to Los Angeles? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like, and stick with us till the very end.